What's going on, guys? Max Melanet here, bringing y'all another video. And in today's video, we are setting up a new board. I'm pretty stoked on this because I've been riding the same board since like the new year, basically. Like the first week of January is when I set up my last board. So it's been over 3 months of riding the same board, which has pros and cons. When you ride the same board for a long time, you get really used to it and you get really comfortable on the tricks that you do have on it. But then in another way, it starts to like lose its pop over time, get razor tailed, chip, and it does get beat up after the first month or two. So certain things do become harder. I just want to take a moment though to send this board off that I have been riding, the Orange Eagle from Anti-Hero, 9-inch Popsicle. Definitely had a lot of fun on this board, definitely progressed a lot. You can see it's well worn in. The last week or so, the tail was starting to just chip apart as well, so it just felt like it was appropriate to set up a new board now. And let one more shout out. Thank you, gonna give this a big smooch, because I did love this board a lot. Maybe I'll get another one day, who knows. I like to have variety though, but love this board and I love everything it gave me. And now it's time to look at the next board, in with the old, or out with the old, in with the new. Life is about progression. And we are going to be setting up a Powell Peralta board today. Now, a lot of you probably only know Powell Peralta's flight decks for the most part, because I feel like that's the main stuff that they promote. But they do have quite a good assortment of just good, solid, affordable wood maple decks. This is also a 9-inch Popsicle. It's just one of their maple decks. I think this one was like from 2 years ago. I got it on like Skate USA for $45 for a maple, like, I think it's a 7-ply deck, like a pretty solid, sturdy wood, you know what I'm saying? It's Powell, it's top quality. If you know it's maple, pressed 7 plies, I think it's gonna be pretty good. And for $45 in today's market, that's a steal. My guess is because they sell the flight decks for like $100 a pop, they're able to sell their normal maple decks for a bit cheaper, just because their margins are a bit higher on the flight decks and they're making more money off those. I did skate a flight deck once. I don't want to ramble in this video, but I did skate the Andy Anderson flight deck. It had its pros and cons. I like deck rails a lot, and it was really like iffy with deck rails. Like it was hard to put the deck rails in, and the screws always came loose and they rattled a lot because the screws didn't really want to go into whatever the flight material is. So that's why I skate wood decks now. And yeah, I don't break boards with the trick selection that I currently have. And I'm a pretty like light guy. I'm like 160 pounds. So it's hard for me to break a deck. But anyway, yeah, this is their 9-inch maple Popsicle. I've got the old school Powell graphic. Like I think this is like the very first graphic that they ever put on a Powell board, which is fucking awesome. Sorry, sorry for cursing. But yeah, it's really sick. Got the sword going through the skull. I think this is actually like some very old symbol for knowledge. You could fact check that, but I know it goes back like maybe 1,000 several thousand years. I remember watching a video like talking about this graphic and all of the history behind it. So that's really cool, and I just thought it looked sick, especially the color scheme. I really love like yellow, orange, pink, pastel colors like that. So I was really drawn to this graphic as well. It is 32.95 inches long, so about a little over a quarter inch shorter than the Anti-Hero Orange Eagle, which is a positive for me because the one thing I didn't like about the Orange Eagle was it always felt a bit too long. Like there was just a little bit too much room in front of me, if you know what I'm saying. This seems like I'm gonna have a little bit more control just because that extra quarter inch brought in. It will make a big difference. So I'm kind of excited to skate a little bit shorter of a board. 9.05 inches wide. So about the same as the Anti-Hero board I was skating. 6.75 inch tail, 7-inch nose. The nose, same tail, quarter inch smaller nose. That's where I lose the quarter inch, unfortunately. I do a lot of nose stalls and nose slide tricks, as you guys know, so that's gonna be a bit interesting, but I think it should be totally fine because it's nice and fat. Still gonna be plenty of room, I think. And then a 15-inch wheelbase. That's my go-to wheelbase. That is my favorite wheelbase I've ever ridden. It just feels perfect for my pop and everything that I do, being a bigger guy. So that's one reason I was also drawn to this board. So anyway, I'll just quickly show, we're gonna put some, oh, one other thing I wanted to show. So I originally ordered this like a month and a half ago when I saw it was on sale. The one that I first got had a little crack in the nose, which isn't a big deal. I'm still gonna ride it, but it was a bit unfortunate to buy a board and have it like already have cracks in it when you get it. So I did message Skate USA about that, send a picture, and they sent me a second one, which is super cool. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one yet. If I really like the board, then I'll just keep this as my next board. Maybe we could do a giveaway with it when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Who knows? I'm gonna keep it on the back burner, but be looking out to see what I do with this deck. But shout out to Skate USA for having great customer service and sending me a replacement deck. I still want to skate this one even though it has the crack because I don't want to see any skateboard go to waste. But yeah, anyway, we are still on our independent forged hollow 159s. Still got nano cubics. They're about 50 millimeters now, pretty small. But I like that, it's not bad. Got the Bronson G3 bearings in here. Very nice bearings, they roll very smoothly. As always, we're putting Powell Peralta rib bones on here. First time ever having pink ones, but I think they match the color scheme of this deck really well. So I'm excited to have the pink ones on there. I've always wanted the pink deck rails. And then another exciting thing, I have gold indie hardware. Each one comes with 2 gold screws only, so I ordered 2 so I could have 2 gold screws in the front of each truck. And then the other screws we can just save as whatever's left over, we can save as replacements or give to other people, whatever. So yeah, that's gonna be the setup. I'm gonna put this together on camera now, but I am going to be fast forwarding the actual assembly of this because it takes me a while to put grip on, it takes me a while to put deck rails on, but I'll check in each phase. Gonna put the grip on first, then the trucks, then the deck rails, and hopefully this doesn't take too long, and then we will just show the completed deck. And that will be the video for today because it is raining, and it's just, yeah, since it's raining, it felt like the perfect time to do a video like this. Something chill, just showing the hardware, man. So yeah, let's get to building, let's get to setting up, and yeah, here we go. All right, guys, so here is the grip job. Not the best ever, but not horrible. I mean, it's not going to affect us in any negative way. Like, it's very rideable. I'm not the best at gripping boards. I mean, I like don't switch boards often. I switch boards every like 3 months, so I don't get a lot of practice actually gripping boards. And I always lay it down fine and smooth it out fine. It's just when I'm actually like cutting the edges out, I feel like I don't take my time, and then there's always like splotches all over my board, but those wear out over time. It's not a problem to me. You know, there's no air bubbles or anything, so I think we're chilling. Gonna poke the holes through now, put the trucks on, and then it'll be deck rail time. So that didn't take too long at all. All right, guys, so there it is in all its glory with the trucks and wheels on. I feel like it's looking pretty nice now. I'll show the top. Got the gold hardware there. One thing I didn't realize was I ordered inch-long hardware, but I do run 1/8-inch risers on my trucks, so there is not a lot of space. It was like almost perfectly the right amount, but It is a little sus, I guess, because I'm used to having my bolts like stick out a bit further, or I'm used to having my screws stick out past the bolts more. But I tightened them down pretty good, so I don't think I'm gonna have to worry or have any problems. It's just not something that I really thought about. I always usually get an 1.25" hardware, and I guess because it was the gold hardware, I just ended up getting an inch accidentally. But I mean, it's sticking up a little bit here and there, but I don't think it's a big problem. I'll get used to that pretty quick. But yeah, it's looking pretty nice so far. All we got left to do is put the deck rails on, which is always a hassle, but it's worth it because it makes board slides and stuff just so much more smooth on crusty material. So let's get them pink deck rails on here. Whew. So the deck rails are finally in for the most part. They're looking pretty good. They're looking like 90% or so, you know. Definitely probably the hardest part that I always have when setting up a new deck is putting on the deck rails. Pro tip, as you saw in the time lapse, is to screw them in about 75% the first time right after you duct tape them, and then take them all out, kind of sand them down. I sand them down with my knife, just kind of like a little bit, and blow out all that sawdust, and then go back and put the deck rails back on and screw them back in, and they just go in a lot easier. They're not going to rattle like they would if you just left them on the first time. So that's the way to do it. This is probably like my 4th or 5th pair of deck rails that I've put on in the last year, so I'm getting a little bit better at it. I used to be like so scared of like misputting it like too much to the left or misplacing it to the right, but now I just kind of wing it. And for anybody who commented, oh, your deck rails are too far in, I don't do grab tricks. This is just for board slides. I put them further in because you get a quicker, smoother board slide. And I also want to learn like board slide to hurricane, board slide to barley grind, all those variations. And when you have them further in, it is apparently easier to learn those. So that's why I put them further in. I don't do grab tricks. I don't need to have them all the way out here. So yeah, the deck rails are on, so this board is looking fresh. Yeah, let's set the camera back up in the normal angle and we'll do a little outro on this board, and that'll be this video. And there it is, like I showed before, we have our brand new setup. It's not a Christmas complete, we got the same trucks and wheels, but brand new deck, brand new hardware, brand new deck rails. I'm excited to ride this thing, honestly. It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, unfortunately. It rained all day today, but I'm hoping over the weekend I'll be able to break this thing in and get some footage riding it. That's not going to be in this video. This is just going to be the setup video for this. But yeah, I'm super stoked. I don't have a lot else to say on this board until I ride it. But I'm liking how everything looks. The nose does look a bit smaller. I mean, I know it's a 1/4 inch smaller than the last nose I rode, and I do a lot of nose stuff, like I said. You guys know that too from the videos, but I think we'll get used to it just fine. I've ridden smaller noses than this before just fine while doing nose stalls and stuff. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Sexy looking board, man. I'm excited to be back on a Powell board as well, because Powell's like Powell's probably my favorite. It's got the most team riders that I really like. I would say Powell's probably my #1 board company that I'm a fan of. Anti-Hero is a close second. So yeah, it's just nice to be back on a Powell board. I watch a lot of Powell content. I watch a lot of Powell team riders, and it's cool to be riding the same type of board that they're riding or representing. So yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. I'm not going to ramble any longer. It's late. I got a lot to clean up. I got to go to bed soon. So yeah, we'll be riding this thing over the weekend. We'll be having a lot more riding content coming soon. I appreciate all y'all's support as always. Please like and subscribe, share the video, comment. Let me know what board you're riding. Let me know all your setup details, because I always want to talk to you guys and hear more about y'all's skating journeys as well. So yeah, get out there and ride this weekend as well, or this week. I guess this video will be on Sunday, so it's currently Wednesday. So get out there and ride whatever day of the week it is. Get out there and ride, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and peace out.